What is good? This is Wager Talks, a live late night show ahead of the spread. We check out the open numbers, notable line movements, and discuss key matchups and angles for the next day's games. So you have an early edge for tomorrow's games. Yeah, Skee, why you gotta why you gotta do that? Um, only a 4 game slate for tomorrow. So hopefully this is a quick and easy show for you guys. A lot quicker than yesterday's 12 day slate. But Skee, how's your day today? I know there was a bunch of games. What did you end up touching?
Yeah, I'm a little distracted watching this the end of this Iowa State and Arizona game. Overtime, crazy game. But man, I was disappointed because I should have took more. I feel like all the sides we're talking about were like hitting.
Mm-hmm.
But I did make a little bit of money in the NBA. I had a 3% on Knicks -3, and then I had 2% on Pistons over. So slight profit in NBA. Then college, I lost to 2% on Michigan first half over, and won a 5% on Mississippi Valley State plus
Mm-hmm.
22 and a half. So overall, good day, and try to do it again.
Yeah, NBA for me actually went 1-2 today. I got a little cute. Tried to do the Grizzlies team total over instead of the full game over. That kind of messed me up, but did get the Wizards team total under, and then I think the other one was met the Magic. The Magic went into double OT, ended up losing that game. All right, so
Mm.
that one was tough, but hopefully we get back on track tomorrow. If we get any plays for tomorrow, let's go into the slate here. As I bring up odds logic real quick, just want to shout out the chat. Also, guys, make sure you guys check out the banner that's scrolling down on the bottom. WT.buzz backslash HP and backslash RC for myself for our capper pages over at wagertalk.com. Also, they have a deal going on right now, 7 days of all access for just $11 per day. Just make sure you guys check that out over at wagertalk.com. Also, tomorrow, $5 Tuesday. So I think all the handicappers have their top plays for just $5. All right, so we have the odds logic uh, live odds page here. We had the Lakers and the Sixers first. Lakers open up at -4. We see a -3.5 at BetMGM, but fours across the board. Otherwise, the total open up at 219, and this is coming down 217.5 at Circa. Pinnacle still has a 219 and 218.5 and 218. So it's kind of all over the place, but the lowest number is 217.5. From an injury perspective, let's go to the Lakers first. I know they're playing back to back, so not 100% sure if this is going to be the official injury report, but we do see two questionables, Hachimura and Vincent. And then on the Sixers side, Caleb Martin, Andre Drummond, Paul George ruled out, and McCain and Embiid out as well. Still, all right. So a lot of people out there for the Sixers. From a situational standpoint, fatigue spot here for the Lakers. Second game of back to back, third and four, fourth and six on the Sixers side. Letdown spot here. They did come off a win as a dog against the Bulls. Also, first game of back to back. They have Sack coming into town tomorrow. Other than that, they do have the revenge angle, and also they're the more rested team. Ski, what are your thoughts on this one? The Lakers been on the road and on a back to back here.
Yeah, and then Philly coming off back to back wins.
Mhm.
Lakers, that's pretty disappointing. Like they started off that game really, really good
Yeah.
and doing exactly what we thought, playing defense, and then all of a sudden, Lakers just can't play a full game. I guess that's what it
Mhm.
boils down to. And then now being at the rest disadvantage, um, it is very hard for me to lay points with them. I know Sixers defense over the past 5 games hasn't been as good as I'd like, but being at home here versus a Lakers team in this situation, I would have to take the points with Philly.
For the four, right? So is it four? Sorry, four. It's weird that it come in. Oh yeah, that's right. It's going down to 3.5 on the road. So, what do you think about the total going down with everyone injured on the Philly side? Obviously, they've been playing well, going through even with all the roster issues. Like you said, won the last two, beat Cleveland. they beat Chicago by double digits here, but an over game then an under game. Is it kind of just too inconsistent to really focus in on the total with the Sixers right now?
Yeah, I just, until they, like you say, until they show me some kind of consistency, it's very hard. And then also, you don't know who's going to be available for the Lakers. So,
It's true.
as far as getting ahead of the spread, I think the best wager is we know who's out there for Philly.
Hmm.
We bet on that, and then if we get extra people out for Lakers, then it's a bonus. I don't really think I can make a decision on the total until I see who's playing for the Lakers.
Gotcha. That makes sense to me. All right, so let's go on to the next game here. We got the Bucks and the Blazers. The Bucks road favorites here at 6.5 for the open. We do see a six at Bet Online, but majority 6.5s, and then the total 232. This has come down to 231.5 at the majority of the books, and then we do see a 230.5 at FanDuel. Injuries will go to Milwaukee. Bobby Portis questionable and AJ Green questionable. If we go to the Blazers, Aiton is questionable and Thibault is still out. So situational aspect here, we'll go to the Bucks Blazers. Fatigue spot here for the Bucks, second of a back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, fourth and sixth. They do have the in-season revenge though. They lost to the Blazers earlier this season. They Blazers somewhat of a fatigue spot, but they do have the rest advantage since they're not on the second of a back-to-back. Um, I mean, what are your thoughts here? I know the Bucks have been on the road quite a bit. Second game home for the Blazers, so they should be the more rested team here.
Yeah, Bucks did get a cover here tonight, but yeah, like you said, they've just been having a lot of travel lately. I mean, you go all the way back to what we talked about before with that being stuck. Um,
The
what was it in
schedule,
New Orleans? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
being stuck there, and then all the stuff that's just been happening lately. Now they're gonna play another back to back, fourth and six nights. Blazers with the rest advantage, and they've been playing good. I mean, they've covered 5 games in a row. Um, Blazers last 5 games, the number one defensive rated team. I
That's
think I'd
wild.
have to, yeah, I'd have
Yeah,
to go with the Blazers in this spot at the house. Just think they can at least keep it close. I
yeah.
would
You
really
talk
want
about.
Aiden to be in. He is game time, so
Mhm.
I mean, I think it's Blazers.
Yeah, their defense, man, that really has surprised me the last few games. One thing that you mentioned too, as far as like the schedule spot, that period right here in that 4 game period where they didn't have the game that got canceled, and then you got two road games here. Then I don't know if it. I want to say it's a look ahead to the Spurs, but I know there is a lot of like comparisons with like Wemby and Giannis and stuff like that. So that could be also a key matchup that they look ahead to as well. Obviously, the Blazers 17 and 29, not really a team that they really need to focus in on specifically. So not sure they'll be completely focused here against the Blazers either. So I would probably think that the Blazers is the right side as well. All right, so we got the Jazz and the Warriors. The Warriors at home, 10.5 at open, up to 11.5 at BetMGM, but mostly 11s across the board. Still a 10.5 over at South Point. Total 227.5 at open, up to 228.5 at majority of the books, but we are seeing some 229s. If we look at the injury report here, we go to Utah first. Kessler and Collins questionable. Utah just dealing with a lot of injuries, always questionables every night. It's hard to play any of their games when don't really know until like 30 minutes or hour before. The Warriors, Green and Kuminga still out. All right, so we go to the situational spot. The Jazz, second game of back-to-back, third game in 4 nights, double-digit in-season revenge for them. Warriors, first game of back-to-back. They do have OKC on deck, which I feel like would be a more important game. They do have the rest advantage as well. They haven't played since the 25th against the Lakers, and they've been at home most of this time. And you can see Utah here traveling a ton in the last 10 games. So, what do you think about this one? I know usually Golden State at this point, it's tough to back them as double-digit favorites, but I mean the situational spot, the fatigue, and all that, so travel fatigue and all that, kind of seems like they might be the right side. But that one, it's tough. It's tough to call. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is very tough. I mean, situationally, it sets up good for the Warriors, but can you trust them? I mean, this is the bottom five defensive rated team last 5 games. They did beat the Bulls by double digits, but before that, I mean, when's the last time you really seen them win by this margin?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I can't put my money on Golden State at this number. So Jazz, I do agree that it's tough, all the traveling they've been doing lately. Maybe maybe we try to fade the defense for the Jazz in this game.
Mm.
All I know is I really don't want the Jazz. I may not want the Warriors either, but I really don't want the Jazz in this spot. So
Yeah. All right, so I was just looking because you were talking about like the Warriors in double digit, right? So I looked at when they're favored by double digits. They're 3-1 straight up, but 1-3 against the spread. Every game their opponents went up and over their team total. If we look at the Jazz and we go line greater than or equal to 10, so when they're double digit dogs, 0-14. So obviously this is not a spot they're gonna win. They're only 6-8 ATS. If you look from a team total perspective, not great. So it doesn't seem like it's a great spot to back either team, but maybe an over type look. It seems like 8-6 to the over as double digit dogs for the Jazz, and it seems like an over spot for the Warriors when they're double digit favorites. So maybe if the fatigue is gonna you know hurt their defense in transition for the most part. So a lot of easy buckets for the Warriors. All right, so let's go to the last game here. Houston and Atlanta. Houston -5 at open on the road here, up to -6. Also seeing some 6.5s on the board right now. We do have the total at 228 at open. Um, this one's kind of going in both directions, 228.5 here at BetMGM and DraftKings, but 227.5 at FanDuel. If we look at injuries, we'll go to Houston first. Jabari Smith, Green, Jalen Green did get hurt, but it seems like he came back, right? I didn't watch that game, so I'm not 100% sure. Did he come back to that game? Do you know?
I was watching, but I feel like he wasn't really doing nothing. So I didn't notice. Maybe
Yeah,
I was
I
watching
just
too
know
many
about the
games at
game
once.
winner. Yeah,
Yeah, Amen Thompson, he was the one balling for real.
yeah,
So that's who I was seeing.
yep. That makes sense to me. All right, so and then on the Atlanta side, we have Trey Young questionable, Nance and Daniels questionable, Jalen Johnson still out. All right, so situational spot. Nothing for either of these teams. Actually, I think it's the first of a second leg of back-to-back games for both of these teams. Sorry, but Houston played Boston. They got that last second win, and then Minnesota and Atlanta. This was a low-scoring game because I think Trey Young was out. Um, both on the back-to-back. Obviously, potential letdown spot here for the Houston side, right? What are your thoughts, Ski?
Yeah, it could be, I guess, a little bit of a letdown. But still, in order to even think about Atlanta, like I need Trey Young to be in there, especially if it's no Jalen Johnson. Like without both of those guys, I have very little faith that Atlanta can do anything versus anybody. So um I would wait and see just to make sure with that first. If you get Trey Young in, at least, then I could look at the Hawks here at the house. But if not, it's clearly just Houston. So injuries are important for these games today or tomorrow, rather.
Yeah, gotcha. I know. So if he doesn't play, it's kind of interesting. When he doesn't play, they've actually been covering. So 3-1 ATS, but I think does this include today's? Yeah, 3-1 including today. And when they don't have Jalen Johnson and Trey Young, they're 2-0 ATS. It's kind of weird, just because maybe it's like an over adjustment on the line. But I still agree with you. I mean, it's just really tough to take them without their key players there. Uh, real quick before we, so that's the 4 games there. Let me just bring this down real quick. I did see a question from Corey Jones. What site? We got the open lines here. This is Odds Logic, and if you want to take a look at it, it's over in the description below the video. You'll see a link there that we have for Odds Logic. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing the screen here. All right, with that said, Ski, before we move on to the top looks or top leans for tomorrow, anything you want to add or leave for the viewers here?
Nah, just the usual, man. I appreciate everybody in the chat. It's a lot of the same usual suspects, some new ones as well. Deep Fry Ty, Gustavo, Eric DeLong, Lucky Powers always around. So appreciate you guys. Mark A. A lot of people tuning in every night. It's, some people on the East Coast, it's hard to stay up. So I always
Mm-hmm.
want to let you guys know it's appreciated. And yeah, what we're doing, moving to top looks, I
Yeah,
guess.
top looks. Yep, yep.
I Tomorrow is a little bit tough. I guess right now my top look would be Portland plus 6.5. I just think it's a really bad spot for Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Portland's been playing good basketball, so that would be the one I'm looking at right now.
I agree with that Portland look, and then the other one that I would probably lean to as well is that Jazz and Warriors over. I think it's at. I mean, some places it's all over the board right now. So there's 227, 228 and a half, but I'll probably wait to see about Utah's injuries before I take any action on it. But I would lean towards the over there. Lucky Powers, just going to the chat real quick. So, some of the guys: Gustavo, CL, Atlanta, Houston under, East Coast, here from BA. Appreciate you staying up late. Warriors team total probably the best way to go to look at that game. A lot of guys here talking about their plays, so make sure you guys check out the comments. Also, leave the comments after the show as well. We'll try to come back and comment and respond to you guys if you have any. With that said, man, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you guys check out the Wager Talk site as well. We talk about that deal that they got going on right now for a 7-day all access pass for $11 per day. And also our specific capper pages, wt.buzz /HP for Skee, and then RC for myself. All right. With that said, good luck with our reaction. Till next time. Peace.